today I'm going to be taking through my unboxing of my brand new to me RC10 B3. Found the car on eBay, looked at it for weeks and thought, should I? I've always wanted to get into the vintage scene. I've always wanted a vintage associated, and the B3 for me was the first car that I saw my dad race properly at the swords competitions in the southwest, which was our regional series, and he had a lot of success with it. And when I wanted to start racing, it was the second car that he gave me. First one that being a Kyosho Laser, and this was the second. So it's always been a bit of a hero car for me. So when I saw one on eBay for a decent price, I was really, really happy and wanted to go for it. So let's get into the unboxing, and I'll show you what I've got. So what we've got in front of us is my RC10 B3 Basic Edition. Came on eBay with a box. It says on the listing that it had an instruction manual, and it's been listed as a bit of a restoration project. So it's not going to be the best example of a B3 you've ever seen, but there's plenty to work on here, and there's plenty to get it to where I want it to be. The aim of this car is to race it. We have a local Thursday night racing club, and we have a fledgling vintage scene there. So it's going to be a little bit of a cross between a shelf queen and a vintage racer. So the box, not too much of an issue for me, but it's what inside that I'm really excited about. So let's have a little peek and see what we've got in it. First thing we've got is the original instruction manual. A little bit dog-eared, a little bit bent, but then that's what you expect with something this old. It's 22 years old this year. Hopefully it's got some set of information for me, and hopefully a parts catalogue in the back of it, which it does. Nice. So I should be able to now have a look on eBay and go and get some more bits for it. Being the basic edition, we are not going to have the bearings, and we're going to have different shock different shocks to the factory team edition, as well as slightly softer materials. The factory team edition car had carbon and graphite infused bits, whereas this should be more plasticky. At the same time, if we can find the stuff, definitely have it. So that's the instruction manual. We'll hopefully be going through this and seeing what we can find on eBay, and when I find the upgrade hop-up blue parts, we'll be posting updates on the car. So it came pretty nicely packaged. As you can see, it looks like there's a nickel metal hydride stick pack in there, and original wing and fastening kit. A little bit more of a delve in there, and we have the car. Put the car out of the way, we'll come and have a proper look at that in a minute. And underneath the bubble wrap we've got a few little fixtures, fastenings, servo horns, E-clips, and bonus points if you know what one of these is. we've got the car on the bench, let's just have a look over it, see if it's mechanically sound, if it needs any work doing to it. I mean, it's not got much in the way of ride height. I suggest it's probably because the previous owners lost the shock collets. But again, I think they're quite an easy find. Brands like RPM manufacture things for that, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Shocks feel alright. And the rear end feels horrendously stiff, so we'll need to have a look at that and see if there's any oil in them, or if the O-rings inside of it have expanded too much to the point where they're not actually working. So she's a little bit rusty, but we can fix that. We'll look at maybe changing the CVDs at some point, but for now we'll just buff them up, get them looking as they came out the packet, and go from there. Original slipper clutch fitted to the car. The aim is to run this car on lipos, so I might have to look at changing that because it might not be man enough to deal with modern motors. Because as much as I want to run it as a vintage car, I do want to put lipos in it and run brushless motors. Nothing too horrendous in it, maybe 13.5 or a 10.5 motor just to help it live out its life without being stressed too much, but we'll see. Let's pop the body shell and see what we've got. So it's come with, what's that, 25 megahertz? Must be 25 megahertz Futaba receiver, a stick pack battery. I don't think this was the original, but if you're new to this, you'll see the size comparison to what we were running back in the day and what we're running currently. So a shorty lipo, it's insane. And the front, this looks like a Futaba. Looks like a Futaba. You can see on the underside there. Maybe not capturing it very well on video. Yeah, it's a Futaba. It looks like a Futaba 5003, so it's kind of a stockish servo. The tyres that have come with it look like the old Proline ribs on the front. I mean, they'll be coming off and we'll be replacing them with some carpet tyres because this is going to spend the rest of its life running on carpet. And on the rear it's come with what look like Proline hole shot or Proline bow ties. Yeah, it's a bow tie. And again, looking at the car, it's a little bit grassed up and a little bit dirty, but we can, the aim of the restoration project is to get this looking spanking and race ready. So in conclusion, we've got a pretty good example of a B3 here. A lot to work on, but a really promising and good foundation. It's going to take a while to get it where I want it to be. It's going to be run pretty much box stock to start with, and we'll get the body shell. We'll have a look at this car compared to a B6.1, see if we can see any of the DNA of this car in the 6.1, and again, any big upgrades that we do on the car we'll be recording, posting up on videos and following through. So thank you so much for the time. If you like the video or want to see some more content, please like and share. And if you have any parts or anything like that that might be able to help me out with this car, please feel free to get in touch with me and I will gladly give you a shout out in the video. If you